Hi, my name is James Grady, and I'm the managing editor of Out Voices Nashville. Joining me today is Ben Green, who is a dancer and choreographer, and one of his pieces is going to be performed by Becca Hoback at Oz Arts in June. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm happy.
So, tell us a little bit about the piece that Becca is going to perform, and then I'm going to back up and ask you a little bit about your own personal history.
Okay, so Becca's performing a solo called Offering, and it's a solo that we made that kind of spanned a long period of time since she's in the States and I'm working in Tel Aviv in Israel. So it was a long process. But yeah, we created this short work that was very much in collaboration with each other. And yeah, it's a solo that we started working on in like different ways. I would bring a lot of images to the studio or music or just ideas about themes, but it's very important for me that the dance piece comes also from the performer. And I consider Becca a dancer who is just as much a choreographer as she is a dancer, um, which is why I was so excited that she commissioned me to do this solo for her. So I wanted to use her as much as I was using myself in the studio. So it was truly a dialogue between the two of us, and yeah, we made this little solo that she's gonna perform.
So, was this collaboration, I assume, mostly by Zoom, Skype, something like that? Was it done during the pandemic?
So actually, she came to Tel Aviv in July 2019.
Okay.
So
So,
actually, most of the piece was made with each other in the studio.
okay.
Um, yeah, so she came in 2019 in July, and we started like just throwing ideas in the space. And then she went back to the States, and she came back in December 2019 and then into January 2020, and we made the solo in the studio. And then she flew back, and since then, like, what was great is that it's really hard to make a work on Zoom.
Right.
So piece was already made in real life, and then we could just work on it. She could just film herself doing it and send it to me, and then I could kind of be with her in that way, um, which was great also.
So, uh, Becca is in Nashville. How did you two originally meet?
So I moved to Nashville in 2015 to join New Dialect Dance Collective. And yeah, we were coworkers. We danced together for one season, and she's a really good friend of mine and one of the greatest artists that I know. Um, so that's how we met. Yeah.
So, how did your career take you from Los Angeles to Nashville, and then to Batsheva Dance Company in Israel?
So actually, I'm from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Sorry.
Yeah, which is like a different flavor
Yes.
than Los Angeles. But yeah, I'm from Vegas and I went to an art school there. And I knew about Batsheva through through a teacher at my school. And she just, you know, taught me as I was a student, and she kind of knew my interests and how I am as a dancer, and she suggested that I look into it. So that was like a main goal for me, was to join Batsheva, but it didn't happen like that. So I moved to Nashville. I joined New Dialect. Banning, the director, she was in school with another teacher of mine, so was like a go and see what's going on in Nashville. And my friend has this amazing company. You should go. So I went and had an amazing year there with her. And then I moved to Tel Aviv in 2016 to join Batsheva's young company. And then I'm here since then. So it was kind of like climbing climbing this like ladder.
Had you been to Israel prior to joining the young company?
Yes, I did a study program in 2014. Before I came to Nashville, I did a study program in the north of Israel for half a year. So I was there then, and I came here to do like kind of training courses with Batsheva because I just really liked the material and liked the direction of the company. So I did everything I could to like go there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tel Aviv is a sort of a cultural entertainment sort of mecca. What's it been like
Yeah.
since during this last year and a half for artists and performers?
I mean, it's funny because it was really hard in the sense that as a performing artist, you can't do your job.
Right.
You can't really do it from home. I mean, we would dance on Zoom class together as a company, which is really difficult and comes with its like hardships. But actually, I think as a performer, it's taking so much out of you, this job, as much as I love it and it's my passion for my life. But I felt like the pandemic came at the moment when I needed to stop dancing for a second, and I needed to dive into all the things that I am as a person that it doesn't exist on stage. And um, so it was hard, but I felt like I was able to find a lot in that time, and I needed it as a person. I needed it also as a dancer because then when I came back to dancing and performing, I mean, you just have a totally different appreciation for it. And um, yeah, so
So did you discover anything surprising or things that are going to impact your career going forward as you sort of foresee it?
yeah, I think like I love to create. Like I enjoy to be on stage and I enjoy to be a dancer, but something that I feel like I see for my future is to be a choreographer. Um, and so just to have the like mental space, days at home, just filling your day with whatever. I just got so many ideas for things that I want to create, and it just gave me like a mental space that I really needed. And I started reading, which I hadn't read in like so many years, um, and and taking little courses on like art history and just like other forms of art that I love and that interest me, but I don't always have the luxury to do.
Right.
Um, and I feel like all of those things somehow will make their way into my life and career.
Well, do you have any plans to get back to the United States anytime soon, or?
I don't think so. My parents relocated to Italy, so
Okay.
my family base. This is a big question for me. Is like, what is home? And I deal with that a lot in my work also. Um, and where is home? And
Right.
so I don't feel that it's in the States anymore as much as it's the place that I was born.
Right.
Um, and also working in an international environment, it just opens up your idea of where you see your life and all of the different branches it could take in different places. So for now, I mean, it's a dream of mine to take like a long road trip through the States, and there's so much land there I've never been to, and
Yeah.
I feel the further that I get away from Nevada, where I grew up, the more I'm drawn to go back to this weird desert place and see like what does it mean for me and how can I use it in my work. And so, yeah, I mean, I would love to go back, but I don't have plans as of now to like move there again.
So will you get to see Becca's final? Will you get to see her performance? Are they going to stream it for you?
I think she told me that there's going to be a recording, um, and so I will be able to see that. Um, yeah, I'm really grateful for technology in that sense, and
Yes.
also I think with an kind of, I mean, with all performing arts, but with the niche that is dance inside of that and contemporary dance inside of that, I feel like the that everything went virtual in the pandemic, it made seeing performances from different companies, from different artists, like so much more accessible for people all around the world. And I thought that that was so amazing in the pandemic that I could see dance pieces that I would
Right.
never have been able to see because I could never catch those artists when they were touring or whatever. So, but yeah, I'm really excited, and I've performed at Oz with New Dialect, so it's like a full circle
Yeah.
experience for her to be there and showing something that we made together. It's just very, very exciting.
Well, for everybody in Nashville, this is one of the earliest live dance performances after things open back up in Nashville. So June 24th to 26th at Oz Arts, you can come out and see Becca perform Ben's piece and the piece from two other artists. So, if you're so inclined, definitely go check it out.